Hello, everyone. This is Mustafa, your digital marketing specialist, coming at you with another episode on Mustafa, the digital marketing specialist podcast or YouTube channel, whichever one you may be listening or viewing and hearing this episode on. On this particular episode, I want to talk about a strategy in digital marketing. For those who may not be familiar with what digital marketing is an umbrella term which encompasses so many different moving parts. Some of those moving parts are email marketing, social media marketing, SEO, SEM, content marketing. It could be so many different moving parts. Facebook advertisement, Facebook ads, Google advertisements. There's so many different moving parts to digital marketing. In this episode, I want to touch on one of the pillars of digital marketing, which will be, as you heard me mention, content marketing. Content marketing as a component or pillar of digital marketing deals with creating content. That content can be a blog post. That content can be digital images like memes. That content can be um, email, sending informative email newsletters. That's a form of content. That content can be educational YouTube videos. That content can be a podcast like what you're listening to right now or viewing on YouTube. That can be forms of content. Content can be articles that you put on Medium where you educate, inform, explain. That's forms of content. Content can be a downloadable ebook that you either get off Amazon as a Kindle or you get off another distributor in a digital format, a PDF, or otherwise. That is all content. So, in digital marketing, content is one of those pillars that pushes forward a digital marketing strategy. Content, it is said, is king, which speaks to how powerful content is and how useful content is and how great content is in your digital marketing toolkit or tool set that will push forward your brand, your message, your niche, your personal brand. Content will do all of those things. So, on this episode, I want to speak to a theme. And the theme or the title of this message is if you don't have a lot of money, which some new entrepreneurs or small businesses may not have, but if you have a lot of creativity and a little bit of more time, then you can use the strategy of content to market and raise awareness of yourself, your brand, your business, your idea, your service. You can use content to push all of those things forward. And one of the things that I like about content, if you want to run Facebook ads or you want to do Google ads or you want to do radio ads or TV advertisements or I guess people don't read a lot of newspapers no more. I'm gonna say, getting some play in a newspaper, but I don't know how popular newspapers are. I don't necessarily read newspapers myself, but say if newspapers out there, or maybe a local little local newspaper in your area, you want to get some advertisement in that, or if you want to get a billboard, things like that. All of those things cost money. That's the point I'm getting to. All of those things cost money. And as a new business or a struggling business, struggling entrepreneur, you may not have a lot of money. You may not be dead broke, or your business just may be breaking even with very little to no profit. So you may not have a big marketing budget at the time. But you know as well as I that you need to pursue marketing because you want to raise the profile and put some awareness of your business so you can attract more clients or attract more leads. So, what do you do in a situation where you have this business, this service, this idea, this brand, and you don't have a lot of money, but you're trying to raise awareness and put some eyeballs on your business? That's where content marketing comes in, and it's such a powerful strategy in a digital marketing um, campaign. That content marketing is going to be really that silver bullet, going to be one of your strongest tools that you have in your disposal. And I say that again because content to create content doesn't cost anything in most cases. See, it doesn't cost anything to set up a social media presence. Facebook is still free. Instagram, excuse me, I couldn't get it out. Instagram is still free. TikTok is still free. LinkedIn is still free. Twitter/X is still free. Pinterest is still free. Did I mention YouTube? YouTube is still free. Email is still free. Medium.com, which is a um, article publishing site, is still free. So all of these are platforms that will allow you to communicate with a large demographic of people potentially, and you can share content with these large demographics on these platforms and get your content before many eyeballs. Back in the day, if you didn't have a lot of money, or you were not a celebrity, or if you did something that was infamous, you couldn't get on TV. Back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and kind of going into the 2000s, if you wasn't a politician, or you was rich and famous, or you did something infamous, or something of that nature, you was not gonna get on television. You was not gonna get on a video format where people can see you and hear you in a video type format. But in 2005, I believe, we have the creation of this tool called YouTube. And YouTube allows anybody and everybody to upload videos of, I don't know what the max length is on YouTube currently, but I've uploaded videos to YouTube or streamed lives on YouTube going up to almost 2 hours. And I do this routinely, a lot. So you have the potential now, whereas before people didn't, to record videos, speeches. Um, you can do educational lecture style formats. You can bring guests on and interview people. You can do so many different things now with video format that YouTube allows you to do now. So that's a great form of content. You know how many people who have set up YouTube channels, and whatever their niche is, like if they're committed to health, all they talk about is health videos. They talk about, exercise. They show you in the kitchen, they're cooking healthy food. They're showing you videos of them going grocery shopping, and they're showing you the different healthy options that you can select and pull from. See, that's content. And that content puts eyeballs on them, and they're helping people, not necessarily selling to people in a hard way, but they're going in a soft way of just helping people, educating, helping them learn new things, showing them, using the health example. Hey, when you go to Publix or you go to Walmart, these are some of the healthy options you may want to use. Instead of putting salt in your food, these are some of the seasonings that you may want to use to kind of bring some flavor to your food, but keep you a little bit off the salt. If you're struggling with this or that, this is an option. And they just go around the grocery store just filming themselves, picking up and showing you different healthy options. If you're you may want to eat more of a leaner steak, instead of eating the fatty steak. And they just show you these videos. And you can do this in so many different, again, going back to health, exercise. I have a guy on Facebook that I'm friends with, and all he does is just record videos of him exercising and showing um, different forms and different I'm losing my train of thought. Can't get out, but he's showing you different techniques and different strategies of using body weight or using resistance bands or using the dumbbells or using a jump rope, simple stuff that you don't have to go to a gym for. But he records some of these videos in a parking lot, literally in a parking lot. And he brings his stuff, his dumbbells, his resistance bands, his jump rope, and he's in a parking lot, just showing you different little simple stuff you can do to get you a full body workout. That's content. So content is so powerful because it doesn't cost a lot of money. You potentially can get in the front of a lot of eyeballs who will see you and grow to love you and grow to respect you. And whatever your niche is or niche is, you keep producing content. If it's health, I showed you what to do with health. Or, if you're a motivational speaker, we can use Les Brown as an example. Les Brown said back in the 80s when he was beginning his motivational speaking journey, he used to record and put his message on cassette tapes. I know I'm taking some of you way back in the day and you're asking, what's a cassette tape? But he used to record his messages on cassette tapes, and he would write on a little piece of paper and wrap it in around the cassette tape with rubber bands. And he would pass out his cassette tape messages with rubber bands wrapped around it with paper, explaining what the message was and how to get in contact with him. And he said he did that over and over and over and over as he was establishing his motivational speaking career. And eventually, his tapes got into the hands of the right people, and his motivational career took off. But we live in a modern era. We're about 30 years away from that which he had to do with cassette tapes, where now if you're a motivational speaker or you have a powerful word that can uplift someone's day and give them insight and understanding of self and push them forward in the journey of life, become a transformative a motivational speaker, you don't have to go out and pass cassette tapes to anyone. You don't have to put VHS tapes or even DVDs in the hands of the people. You can again go back to YouTube and you can just record 2 to 3 times a week, one at a minimum, of you just giving motivational words, helping shift people's mind state, showing them strategies and tools how to get unstuck in dealing with things in life. And over a period of time, you become a subject matter expert, and you become someone, the go-to person that people begin to look for motivation. And then you go on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and then you replicate the same strategy by taking some small clips, 30-second, 60-second clips, and then you start producing reels or little bite-sized nugget videos, and then you start sharing that around, and then you create these Facebook page and social media page, and then you build a community around the message, around your niche, around your expertise. Whatever that expertise, that niche or niche is, then you build a community around that. You see what I'm saying? Now you built your video content. You can also do that with a podcast, and then you go on social media and you build communities around what you're talking about. And then you get 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers. You in there now. You got 10, 20, 30,000 eyeballs on you. Every time you produce a YouTube video, you drop that link and you send your followers or your tribe to your YouTube page to check out your latest video. So every time you drop a new video, you got hundreds or thousands of views on that video. This is all things that take time to grow over time. This is not going to be an overnight success. When I say 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, you're not going to set this up next week and then by the end of this year, 2024, you're going to be there. Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes things do catch fire fast and grow quick online, but realistically, good things, it takes time. It grows over time. But all of these things, examples that I'm showing you, That's creating content. That's engaging with people, sharing your content, and it's totally free. It's totally free to get on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and just post a few times a week or every day or several times a day different little posts that speaks to what you're into. And when you make these posts, don't be salesy like come buy my product, come support my service, buy my new book, buy my t-shirt, buy my shirt, buy this, buy. And when you do a buy, the people say buy, meaning goodbye. But if you come in a in a helpful manner where you help first, sell later. Help first, sell later. Put your helpfulness first. Whatever your niche or niche is, you just go to the people with not deception, but just help. Share helpful information. Share tools and resources and tips that will help them. That comes from your niche or niche or background or business that you're representing. Just share information and build your tribe, build your community. And then when you become so helpful, people know how, and then you have, in the background what you represent, what the next step is to help them. So these are just ways that if you don't have a lot of money, but you have creativity and you got time, go with content. Content marketing and content creation is your greatest tool, and it will help you out so much, and it don't cost one dime in most cases. It don't cost nothing to set up a podcast, family. YouTube, social media, email. And another powerful thing that you can do that's kind of leans more into the email marketing, but also I'm speaking of it in the context of content marketing, is when you producing all this content and you helping so many people, start collecting those email addresses. Collect those email addresses, right? Because social media is powerful. YouTube is powerful. All of these platforms online are powerful. And you may get, 10,000 followers, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 followers. But what if that social media platform shut down the next day and all of your efforts were tied to a social media platform? Then overnight, you lost all those contacts, you lost all the potential engagement, you lost means of sharing your content overnight. You were literally shut down. So don't be spoiled by social media or online platforms because they're so readily available and they're free, and you don't have to do no heavy lifting by setting up anything. So while you're making these inroads on these online platforms or social media, start collecting those emails, because now you can engage in email marketing. And when you got, say you got 10,000 followers on social media or 20,000, whatever the number is, and so you got half of those numbers in email, or 75% of that in emails, right? So if you got 10,000, say you got what up? My math ain't mathing right now, but let's say you got 5,000 emails, right? Or 7,500 emails. There we go. My mind kicked in. There we go. Say you got 5,000 or 7,500 emails, but you got 10,000 social media followers, right? You can set up where once a week or every other week, twice a month, that you put out an informative newsletter. And in that informative newsletter, you don't have to necessarily come up with a lot of new information, because as you're sharing a lot of information on YouTube and social and online platforms, everybody not going to see everything that you put online. There's some people that's going to miss certain things that you post. So you can curate some of the best things that you posted over a week or 2 weeks and put it in an informative newsletter. And then you blast that out to your 5,000 or 7,500 email list subscribers, right? And now you're in direct communication with the people. There's no middleman, online platform or social media. You're communicating directly to and with the people. So say Facebook or Instagram and X and TikTok, you just say all of them shut down. But you have all these emails on your email list. The show continues even though these social media platforms may be gone. You can just send a blast out, hey man, that's amazing. Isn't that something, man? All social media gone. But let me tell you something this week what we're finna go into. Let me show you this an informative tip. Let me show you this strategy. Let me show you this. Let me show you that. See? You're still continuing your communication regardless of what social media does or Instagram, or online platforms do. You can continue to communicate with your people. Now, realistically, we know that social media platforms are not going to go all at once in a oblivion type way. But just thinking that, don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they used to say. Diversify and be able to communicate with people regardless of what social media does. There's been instances of people who have built great platforms on social media and YouTube, and for one reason or another, they've had their accounts shut down. They may have violated what's called community standards. Sometimes, a lot of times unintentionally. It's a lot of stickiness going on with social media and these community standards violations. And people have had their whole YouTube channels shut down, have had social media pages shut down. And some people have gotten up to like 1 million supporters and followers. And in the blink of an eye, boom, social media deemed them unacceptable and shut them down. And they can, of course, start a new page, but now they got to build from scratch all over again. But if you got those emails and those subscribers, none of that matters because you still communicate with your tribe, with your community, with your people. So create content, use YouTube to create videos, use social media to build tribes and communities to communicate with the people. Another thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because we're getting up there in time, but I've been online since 1995 with AOL. I'm talking about you got mail. Goodbye. Those days. I was online back in the day with AOL. I was online back in the day when, websites were very simple. HTML and CSS. Wasn't a lot of dynamics to web pages. It was real simple back then. I was online back in the day when we had message groups and instant messenger, stuff like that. Back in them days, there wasn't no social media. It wasn't a YouTube. It wasn't this ease of communication like it is now, where you can just really, really build tribes and just really communicate with people in a major way. Um, back in the day, we had to go out there and hump. You had to build a website, and then you had to work on building your traffic to get people to your website. And that's something that some people have gotten away from because, again, the free and easy nature of social media. People say, oh, well, what do I need a website for? I just build, a few social media pages and drive traffic that way and get people going that way. But as I said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. As social media is such a powerful tool, still have your own website, still produce a blog, still produce somewhere where, the ultimate goal is, if you get all these people on social media, You want to drive them to something that you own, your own platform. You want to drive them to your blog. You want to drive them to your website. You want to drive them to those platforms that you own, that show up in Google, that are SEO certified, that are have great SEO ranking. So that's another form of content as well, having your own website, having your own blog. And your blog or your website can be a one-stop shop where they come and they can find out everything about you. You know, your podcast is linked to your website, your blog, of course, as I mentioned, your articles is linked, your bio, your store, everything can be on that website. And that becomes a one-stop shop of a way for them to get in touch with, all things happening of you. So that's going down another area, but I just wanted to mention that don't get spoiled again on social media and not create something that you own, something that you can directly customize and build in your own way. So that's pretty much everything. Just if you don't get nothing else from this message, just remember, if you don't have a lot of money for a marketing budget or a great campaign, but you have a lot of creativity and you have some time, explore content creation and explore content marketing. Explore how you can just start creating some content every day, week, month, over the year, and start sharing that content with people. And that content will do so much for marketing and pushing your brand forward and producing awareness and getting eyeballs on you and what you represent, your brand, your business, your niche, your niche. It will do so much for you. And be patient as you do it. It's not an overnight thing. In a lot of cases, people don't know who you are. So you're brand spanking new. But if you keep plugging at it, keep putting useful content out there, keep sharing useful resources and tools and giving those tips over time, as the months pull on and people begin to see that you are consistent, you are reliable, and you are a resource, then they begin to look for you, towards you, for the next bit of information. And when they like you and you are consistent and you're reliable and you're useful, then they don't have a problem telling nobody else about you and telling many bodies about you. And then they become, in a sense, your little PR team. They become your brand advocates. And you didn't you still haven't paid one dime yet. Now you got a little army that's working for you, word of mouth, telling people about you. All of this started from you just producing content. It didn't cost one dime, family. Not one dime. So today is Sunday, October 27, 2024. It can be any day when you hear this message. But whatever day you hear this message, whatever year, then start thinking, if you have not thought, how you can start producing some content. If you don't have a Canva account, go ahead and sign up for Canva. I know Canva is not Photoshop or one of those real fancy graphic design tools, but Canva is good enough to get started, to get most basic social media graphics designs done. It's good enough for you sharing graphics in emails, to produce a email newsletter. Canva is good enough to create memes and to create digital assets that you can share that will be informative, educational, useful. Go ahead and sign up for Canva and check out some of those things you can create. You can create an ebook on Canva. I've done it before. You can create a whole ebook on Canva, download it as a PDF, create a cover on Canva, and start sharing your information. Okay? So, content is king, content is powerful, content is free, and content will help move your brand forward. This is Mustafa, your digital marketing specialist. I am available on Facebook. Right now I have a new Facebook page that I've set up. It's not, don't have a lot of flock or follow because it's brand spanking new, like 2 or 3 days new as of this recording. I also have a YouTube channel up that's been up for about a year now. It's doing better than my new Facebook page. But it's also your digital marketing specialist under that brand. And what else we got? My blog is I'm producing a new blog. I've done several blogs before, but I'm doing a new blog for your digital marketing specialist, that brand. So depending on when you hear this, it may be up. It's not up right now, but depending on when you hear it, it might be up. But check out that YouTube channel. I got about 80 some videos on digital marketing right now. The podcast. It's this particular brand for your digital marketing special. It's new, so I have not transferred a lot of my YouTube assets over to it yet. So it only has 2 videos as of this recording right now. But once I transfer a lot of my other um, uh, video assets over to podcast format, I will have close to 100 podcast episodes once I do that. So also have a downloadable book that you can download. It's called How to Build Your Information Empire with Content. It's a really, really good tool that breaks down and talks about a lot of the stuff that we talked about on this podcast episode. So I'm not going to belabor any longer. I think I've ran my mouth long enough, and I think I've given you enough to chew on, think on, and act on in the days to come. So again, this is Mustafa, your digital marketing specialist, signing off, and I will see you at another time.